Hello everyone and welcome to the Will I Make It Home video today. As you can tell, it's absolutely peeing it down, cats and dogs. Here we are, starting point at Wurzels, not Wurzels, the West Country super group of I've got a brand new combine harvester fame. Anyway, let's get in the car because I'm just getting soaked. Ugh. What we're doing today is a range test essentially. But it does have that extra jeopardy of doing a round trip that is sort of on the limit of the car's range. So will I make it home is actually true. Maybe come across as a bit clickbaity, but it generally is going to be on the limit. Let's see, we're in ABRP, or a better route planner, and I'll explain a bit about that once we get driving. But the car is actually saying we're at 96% now. That's saying 95, and we're going to get there. Our location, I'll tell you about that once we get on the move. 54%. So I think without further ado, let's just get going. I've booked the right old day to do a range test. So rain, of course, makes there's more rolling resistance on the tyres. And there's more noise, everything like that, which is going to make recording a bit more difficult. Your view out's going to probably be terrible. So I don't know whether to carry on with this, but let's just see how we go. Oh God, it's going to go even worse now. I forgot to mention as well that the sort of jeopardy comes in because there are no rapid DC chargers close to where I live. So I have no option really. I've either got to bail out or take the risk in getting back home, and that's where the jeopardy comes in. I obviously have a charger at home, but because I'm designed it to be pretty close, yeah, that's where the jeopardy comes in. So it might be a bit squeaky bum for me at least, not you guys watching, but yeah, we'll see how we go. I think we've got to put the aircon on. So today is all about trying. So the drive video was seeing what the car could do and its sort of performance and all its grip and everything like that. But today is the complete opposite. It's all about efficiency and trying to get the most range possible. So I need to keep an eye on my efficiency because ABRP is now saying 51%, and the car and ABRP are pretty closely matched at the moment. So that's based on sort of default figures. Now there's a lot of settings in a better route planner. I'm not going to go into them all because that would take a video in itself. But you can change how much percent you're starting with and the consumption based on your own figures, or it uses a default value. And I think the default value for this is 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour at 65 miles an hour, and then it uses, I should think, very complex algorithms to work out. And at the moment, it's got it pretty much spot on. So I'm just using the default values. I'm not, but you can amend them, and as I say, I'll just show that. And I've not even mentioned where we're going yet. I suppose I should have done that already. So we're going to the GRIDSERVE electric forecourt, I think it's known as, and again I'll put that up in sort of B-roll, at Norwich, because it's sort of, you know, about 70 miles away from me. So we're going to go there today, but not to charge, just have a look at it, and it so happens to be that 140 mile round trip. Something I forgot to mention was that I need to do 3, I think I worked it out, I need to do, based on the battery capacity, or its net battery capacity, which is, I think, is the 7.3 kilowatt hours, I need to do about 3.8 miles to the kilowatt hour. I can't remember what that is in watt hours per kilometre. I think it's in the 160s, I think, something like that. So at the moment we're just bang on 3.8 on our average consumption right now. Okay. This will be an interesting one today, and at the very first one as well. I was hoping to sort of go in quite smoothly, be fairly easy, but I think the EV gods had other ideas.
I've seen you looking for an answer lately, so tell me something tonight. You remind me of the limelight lady. I gotta get by your side. Wanna talk, wanna know what's keeping you inside of your head. And we both been playing with smoke, but the fire's gonna get me instead. Tell me that you're feeling me and I'll do the same. Come a little closer. Tell me good night that you ain't playing a game, 'cause I don't wanna be another.
Oh, this is a good test with the suspension. Yeah, it's doing a good job. There we go. Whoa. Yeah. Impressed. Very good. Okay, these long straight bits of road, I'm now using cruise control, because I know the speed isn't going to vary too much. Keep my efficiency up, and also I've switched off AC, and I've just got the window slightly open on the passenger side. Now you could argue this isn't real world, but today I feel like I'm up against it a little bit because of the weather. That's robbed me a bit of the efficiency I might have had, so I'm having to sort of compensate for that by using various techniques to maximize the efficiency, because at the moment ABRP is still saying I'll get to GRIDSERVE in Norwich at 50%. So yeah, this is going to be close today. The latest sit rep is we've got 6 miles to go. ABRP thinks we're on 54% at the moment. We're actually on 61 because we're managing to do 4.4 miles to kilowatt hour, and it predicts we'll get there with 49%. But if we're working on 6 or 7 above that, hopefully we'll get there with 55%. Hooray! Here we are. So let's just go and park up somewhere and have a look at how we've done. Okay, so we made it, which is great. Let's have a look at so we managed to do 4.4 miles to the kilowatt hour, and we're 58% left. So we've managed to do 9% better than ABRP. So let's see how we get on the way back. I just, however, need to go for a wee, get something to eat and get something to drink. So I'll see you guys soon. Okay, so I'd love to be hanging around here, but I do have to get back. So it'd been nice to have a bit more of a look around, but we need to get going. Situation is that we've got 35 miles left back to Wurzels. And ABRP is saying that I'll get back there with 17%. It thinks I'm on 40. I'm actually on 42. And on this trip on the way back, we're averaging 4.7 miles to the kilowatt hour. And overall 4.5, so really good today. Now there's probably not enough of us to make comments about the fact that I haven't been running the aircon, but I mean actually I could now, but it just shows you that just by changing or changing your driving in a way, you start, put it in cruise control. Perhaps don't drive as fast as you normally might, and then if things are a bit squeaky bum, which they were to begin with today, they still might be, then that's when you can start to switch off the aircon, open a window instead, and do that type of thing. So not sure what's happened now, because ABRP is now saying I've got 36%. That's about, it's saying I'll get back with 34. No, that can't be right. No, that's something's gone wrong there. I'm not sure what, but okay. I realised what ABRP was doing. It was thinking that I should stop for a charge. That's why it came up on the screen. Not sure if you can see it, but it was thinking, oh yeah, you've got to go and charge now, and you'll get there with 34%. So that, right, I see. Oh, very good. Okay, we're on the home stretch. 0.9 miles to go, 0.8. The car is telling us 22% left. ABRP 14%. We think that's got 40% left. So again, we've done 8 or 9% better than ABRP thought. There we are. We are back at Wurzels, and let's have a look at the trip meters. Trip B, but that was the way back. We managed 4.9 miles to kilowatt hour. That's flickering. I hope that isn't too bad. Average speed 37 miles an hour, and the trip was 62.7 miles. But overall, if we go up to trip A, we did 134 miles, or nearly 135. Average consumption 4.6 miles to the kilowatt hour. nearing 4 hours travel time. Finally, I just wanted to add this sort of addendum almost to the rest of the video. As you can tell, it's obviously shot on a different day, and normally I would have wrapped things up and sort of said, well, that's it, subscribe, yada yada, the usual. But I just wanted to make a couple of points that I thought are important. Despite the 500e having a small battery, it still outlasted me in terms of I needed a wee, I needed a coffee, and we can see that from the test. That sort of brings me on to a point I'd like to make. It might be slightly controversial, but I think the term range anxiety is perhaps, in this country anyway, incorrect now. It might have been the case 5 or 10 years ago, but I would say the majority of EVs now have sufficient range to go well beyond our own needs. But if there is an anxiety now, it's charging anxiety. Will I be able to find a charger? Will there be enough available? Are they working? Do I have the right app or ID? Can I pay by card? That is more the issue here, I think, now in the UK. May of course be different elsewhere. Australia, yeah, I get it. Range anxiety would be a real thing there. We've got to remember the charging infrastructure is still very much a work in progress, but it is getting better. Perhaps not quick enough, yeah, we could argue that, but it is getting better. More and more are being added each day. And it leads me on to sort of one final thought. I found an article written by Autocar magazine. It was actually written back in 2017, and I'll put a link to it in the video and sort of show a quick bit of B-roll of it. But it actually refers back to an article in 1989, and it details the switch from leaded to unleaded fuel. It's very interesting, and you could say enlightening. Okay, some things are different, the infrastructure was already there, but in some ways we've been here before. We're sort of waiting for something new to come in. It's going to take time, it's not going to be overnight. I hope you've enjoyed the whole video. If you have, leave a comment, any thoughts, hit the like button, subscribe, the usual. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.